Picture this. You're walking down a hallway and you hear somebody mention your child's name. You stop before you get to the doorway and listen in. But the person is saying awful things about your child, talking about their intelligence, making comments about their clothes and the way they smell. They even start making fun of the food they eat and comparing the way they chew to an animal. Now, what happens inside of you? I'm starting to feel angry saying these words, but if somebody were saying that about my child, acting like they're less than human, making fun of my child in the most denigrating way, I will step in and defend my child. I will have words, and it's likely to get ugly. Now, the people in this story, they were using contemptuous words. Contempt is when we speak or act like a person is less than human, that there's something fundamentally wrong with them, that they're somehow broken. This often happens with people that are on the other side. We think or say things like, "How can you think that? There's something wrong with you. Are you even a human? Because no human could possibly think that. You're broken. You're fundamentally, to the core, broken, disgusting, and appalling." Now, you may not use those words, but that's what's being communicated. During election seasons, your political affiliation puts you in a camp, and the people on the other side of the aisle, they become the enemies. Then when we hear and read about them, we want to destroy them. How can they possibly think that? They're broken for even pondering that thought. That's contempt. Contempt is such a terrible emotion that in close relationships, such as marriage, there is a 97% probability of divorce if one of the partners expresses contempt on a regular basis towards the other. With contempt, the giver and the receiver has negative emotional and physical effects. When we express contempt towards others, I like to say it leaves a residue on our soul. But in more concrete terms, when we express contempt, we end up feeling a boomerang of contempt towards ourselves because we expressed contempt. When we're done treating people with contempt, we have feelings of shame, embarrassment, guilt, which long-term actually leads to negative health effects. This causes both parties to experience emotional distress. The point is, contempt and the expression of contempt is one of the greatest causes of division in our society. It's not good for our society, and it's not good for you individually. During the political season, we very quickly sort into our political parties, and that moves us towards an us versus them type of thinking. Part of human survival is quickly determining who's with us and who's against us. We subconsciously do this every day. We make judgments based upon skin color, age, clothes, careers, affiliations, where people live, and thousands more. That knee-jerk reaction is subconscious and something that was a benefit to our ancestors as they sought survival. Here's the thing. The first response isn't actually the problem. It's when those thoughts and snap judgments aren't addressed for their accuracy and effectiveness. When our lives go unfiltered and unassessed, we can end up way off course as we start digging into our us versus them judgments, which quickly leads to contempt. When we have snap judgments, we need to filter our first response and say, that is a terrible thought. I just jumped to an unfair conclusion. Let's step back and refilter that thought through a filter of accuracy and LRK. Us versus them thinking and contempt cannot coexist with love, respect, and kindness. LRK, on the other hand, will crowd out contempt in our lives. So practically, what do? Here's one thing. Spend 30 seconds thinking thoughts of LRK about the person with whom you may have contempt. That might mean saying something like, I'm choosing to think love, respect, and kindness towards that political candidate. My words today will communicate love, respect, and kindness towards the person on the other side of the aisle. Be specific, put names in there, picture the person. Maybe it's a politician, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a coworker. But even 30 seconds a day of that type of thinking will start to infiltrate your thoughts with LRK. Here's another exercise. Write down 5 things that are good about the other political party and 5 things that your political party isn't getting right. This kind of exercise will remind you that both sides are getting it right on some things and wrong on others. It brings LRK into the contempt because you're thinking graciously, lovingly about the other side. We also have a free, downloadable 30-day LRK gratitude journal on our website, mustdobetter.org, to help you with this process. The gratitude journal is a way to daily focus on what is truly important in your life. Politics are important, But there's other things that are more important and that you can and should be grateful for. Here's one more exercise. Before you critique a political position, make an LRK statement about the position, such as, I respect that this position is trying to address immigration, or that political stance really shows a lot of kindness to the unhoused in our community. When you combine LRK thoughts, writing, and words, you're well on the path towards embodying LRK in all of your interaction. It takes time and effort, but it is possible. All right, it's discussion time. As you go to discussion time, remember the 4 positions we hold in conversations: open-handed, open-minded, open-hearted, and then open your mouth. Open-handed. You have opinions, but be open-handed with the truth you subscribe to. Maybe there's a nuance you haven't thought of. Open-minded. Ask good questions and seek understanding. Be the investigator, not the teacher. Open-hearted. Find commonality with an open heart. Then you can open your mouth to express your thoughts, which is always done with LRK, love, respect, and kindness. All right, enjoy your conversation and let's live love, respect, and kindness.